Now, we had the other person representing another financial center, Shanghai. I believe there is no other Shanghainese or person from Shanghai in the room. So Gary Liu's Deputy Director, CEIBS, Luzhui International Financial Research Center.
Thank you, Paula. Good afternoon, everyone. Last week, Chatham House and CEIBS, we just have a very successful launch of the report in Shanghai. Yes, I'm from Shanghai, but I'm afraid I cannot represent Shanghai because I'm not from the government body. Compared to many speakers, I think I am a pessimist of the financial center in Shanghai. Yes, nowadays people all over the world are talking about the Shanghai 2020 roadmap. But I think that so far, yes, we have to admit that Shanghai is making steady progress in realizing its targets. But if you look closely, you will find that Shanghai is making progress primarily because of the Chinese economy. The Chinese economy is growing very quickly, and also in this process, it will create a huge demand for financial market and the financial system. And Shanghai will benefit from this because Shanghai is now the financial center of China. When we evaluate a financial center, especially given that Shanghai's ambition of developing into a global financial center, I think we should look at it from three dimensions. The first is the size. Yes, Shanghai financial market, the size is already very big. The second dimension is quality. I'm afraid that the financial market quality in China is a big problem. The new chairman of CSRC, Mr. Gu Suqing, is very aggressively trying to reform the Chinese stock market, but it's very difficult. If we recall the recent history, when the governor Zhou Xiaochuan, he was previously the CSRC chairman several years ago, he stayed in that position for only a short period. One reason is that he tried to reform the Chinese stock market to better protect the investor interest. And if you want to protect the interest of the small investors, you will hurt the interest of some interest groups in China. And partly because of that, Zhou Xiaochuan was removed from the position of chairman of CSRC. So the task for Gu Suqing is really very difficult for the future reform. The Chinese financial markets is also suffering from many other problems, like the policy noise. Because the central government, they are always changing their policy from time to time. And the policy transparency is very low. This is the second dimension. The third dimension to judge a financial center, I think, is how freely the capital can flow in and flow out, which we call the capital account open. Of course, Shanghai is making little progress so far in this respect. So we can say that Shanghai is a financial center, but so far it's still a domestic financial center and still has a huge gap between Shanghai and Hong Kong, especially in terms of quality and international dimension. So for the future of Shanghai, I think there are some, Shanghai will continue to benefit from the growth of the Chinese economy and also the renminbi internationalization, which was mentioned a lot today. But I want to mention that there are many challenges or uncertainties for Shanghai's future that probably will come into true in the next 10 years. The first challenge, I think, is fundamental. Because of China's special political system, China actually don't have a reliable legal framework, which means that the investors, they cannot be protected effectively by the legal system. And also, the courts judgment is always very difficult to predict. And this is a strong weakness, big weakness for Shanghai. Because if you want to have a very reliable global financial center, a trustable legal framework is indispensable. The second problem is with regulation. Yes, the Chinese government, it seems to have a very strong banking system, and especially compared to the American financial institutions in the financial crisis. But the government is controlling too much in financial area. The Chinese interest rates is still not liberalized. The Chinese banking system is still dominated by state-owned banks, and also the Chinese regulators they have very powerful discretion over many issues. So if you don't have a very transparent regulation system, the global investors, they will not have confidence in the long-term investment for this market. Another big challenge or uncertainty comes from sustainability of the Chinese economy. Yes, Chinese economy is already the number 2 in terms of size, in GDP, and also it has the largest foreign exchange reserve. But the largest foreign exchange reserve is not a national pride. Instead, this is a stupid policy. And many people, including the central government, admit that it's very difficult to continue the current economic growth model of the Chinese economy for another 10 years. If you look at the quality of the Chinese GDP, it is widely estimated that pollution costs almost account for 10% of the Chinese GDP, which means that the Chinese growth is almost an illusion. It's a bubble. If China continue to grow in the current model, what can be expected? Pollution. And then the pollution will lead to social crisis. Actually, we have already seen from time to time social unrest in different cities around China. So in the next few years, I think that China has no choice but to transform its economic growth model. But unfortunately, it's almost a mission impossible, because the key obstacle to this is the government itself, because the government is now becoming the largest interest group inside China. The government officials, they are benefiting hugely from the current model. We can see that it's the best timing for government officials to make money, make quick money in China. That's why we have the so-called private equity corruption. Probably it's a concept very difficult for foreigners to understand. Why is private equity corruption? But it's very popular inside China. So the government must revolutionize itself to realize the economic transformation. If we cannot realize this transformation, I'm afraid that the Chinese economy will run into big trouble. We will have some economic crisis and also, of course, financial crisis. And this uncertainty leads to another problem, which is the financial liberalization. We know that Hong Kong, London, New York, they are global financial centers because they don't have so many control or restrictions. Financial liberalization is the key task or priority for the Chinese policy in the next few years. But this is very difficult to realize again because of the uncertainty with the Chinese economy in the next 10 years. If the Chinese economy cannot continue to grow steadily, the Chinese government officials will become even more cautious when they try to promote financial reform. They will not sacrifice the economic stability for financial liberalization. Stability in China is always much, much more important than anything else. I agree that in the Chatham House report, they use the words policy-driven for financial centers in Great China. Yes, because the Chinese government is playing a significant role in this process. But the most important policy is not some special policy for Shanghai or Hong Kong. It's the reform of the Chinese economy. It's the reform of the Chinese financial system. We need to liberalize our interest rates, and we need to reform our financial markets to make it transparent and trustable. We need to reform our state-owned banks, and also we need to transform our economic growth model. If all these things can be realized, Shanghai will probably replace Hong Kong someday. But I'm afraid it will take a very, very long time, and it's highly possible that it will not be realized at all. Thank you.